Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the 8th series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us, Italian big wave surfer Francisco Porcella. We discuss with him about big waves, surfboards, and much more. Hello, Francisco. Welcome to the show. What are you today?
Ciao, Alessandro. I'm back in Sardinia after some time in Hawaii. So I'm actually about to go for a little surf after this. There's some waves over here, and I can't miss the waves when they're happening here in Sardinia.
Of course, home spot is always the best one, or maybe it's not, but still it's dear to us. So we must follow that. So for you, actually, Hawaii and as well Sardinia, so you have like a great wave on both sides, at least.
Yes, I feel very fortunate to have this dual island love and family that I feel at home in Maui. I feel like in Hawaii spots here in Sardinia. You have to drive a little bit more in Sardinia, but
it's good. It's still good. So the first question that I have for you is the question that I ask everybody on the show at the beginning. What is the most important thing, in your opinion, in surfing?
Well, surfing and being in the ocean, I think the most important thing is the therapy that you get from, the positive energy and those negative ions that we breathe when we're in the ocean and doing these sports. I think.
Yes, very important. Anyway, we are there. We are like alone in a certain way, and connect with the ocean is so powerful. So. Definitely, and therapeutic, as you said, so it's very very important.
That's why I try to find places where maybe, you go with just some friends and get away from the whole crowd of people. I think that's the most special sessions is when you find some places where are maybe not so crowded, but the waves are good. And those waves remind you how special it is to be in the ocean or to be in the sea. It depends where you are. But yes, I'm the kind of guy that likes to go a little bit further and try to find some spots that are maybe not as perfect, but maybe less crowded. I'm kind of one of those guys that is looking for something more
kind of
more private, more special.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
Talking with the first surfers that were surfing in Hawaii, I mean, like modern surfers, they always told me, like Alessandro, most of the time we were surfing alone, and we wanted to have buddies to come over first for safety, but also because when we were surfing big wave and coming back on the shore, nobody was believing us, so we had somebody that
yes,
money
for sure,
telling stories, right?
Yes. It's true about nowadays. If you don't film it or if you don't have proof, it never happened.
Exactly.
But, yeah, no, it's true. There's that balance that you try to find where you maybe want to find some places that are not so crowded, but you want to share those moments with your friends. So yeah, that's the perfect balance, is if you can find those kind of spots. But enjoy what you have. So sometimes it's only that spot that has waves, and you got to find the respect and get your own respect too to get those waves. Sometimes I find myself in places like in Sardinia where you go to some spots and there's these local guys that are trying to be so hungry and getting all the waves, and I see it with other guys that are not able to get the waves, and it's sometimes mind-boggling for me to think about places like this so localized, and then you go to other places that are world-class famous waves, and you actually receive the respect and appreciation. For example, Taupo is this place that is really known And the guys there, they show respect when you get in the water. They come up to you and they say hi, and you feel really fortunate to receive that respect from somebody that's a local and that is a really good surfer. So at the end, it comes down to giving respect and receiving the respect as well.
Exactly, a way of behaving in the lineup, and of sometimes if the people kind of affect the security of the lineup, then definitely people get angry. Safety first,
Yeah.
but
Safety first, and of course, you always respect the locals when you're in the water, and try to keep that good vibe. So if you see bad vibe, maybe sometimes it's better to go somewhere else. That's a better vibe, and your session will stay a good positive session instead of getting pissed or getting somebody pissed. So yeah, I feel like that's the way.
that's the way I you. So tell me, I'm curious, what was your first proper surfboard, and if you still have it with you?
Wow, yes, I still have it, and it's actually my godfather. When we moved to Maui, he actually bought us the first surfboard, and it was a Kazuma 5.3. And when I was in Sardinia, I didn't have the possibility to have a small board, so I was actually using long boards and sometimes windsurfer boards just to get some waves. And I'll never forget that day of my first surfboard in Maui, and I started to really start turning, just like having a skateboard. Grankyo that gave me that first board for sure.
And Kazuma, it's amazing shaper, in Hawaii, but also known worldwide. So definitely a great first board.
Yes. Matt Kinoshita is one of the Maui shapers that has done a lot in the history of. Started using other boards, but you never forget the first board. It sparks that passion, and you feel more confident. That board under your feet is actually feeling like it should be, not like a huge log of board, and you're trying to, at that age, you're trying to turn it, and it's just hard. So it was a special board.
And it's so amazing that you still have it. So fantastic. Keep it, because it's.
I will. Yeah.
And so from like your first board to big waves, I actually asked this question to all the big wave rider that I had in the show. What does it take?
I think you have to have it in you a little bit. You have to want to train and step by step put yourself in nature's path and in the power of the ocean. So it's got to be in you a little bit, and for sure you can work your way up to that. And that's you want to find the extreme power, and we've always been a bit more in lack of words, a little bit crazier than some other kids our age, just because we always played out in nature, and the elements were something that we were really passionate and really into getting into it full on. It slowly grew on me, and it was something that I dreamed of when I was a little kid. So as I went to Maui from Sardinia, I started to ride bigger waves till I finally got to one of the most famous, biggest waves of the world, Pe'ahi in Maui. That was my path, and it took me a while to get there because I wasn't put into the situation right away. I actually had to work my way up to that. I was actually a professional windsurfer on the waves for some years. And the love of surfing was something that was in me, and it was growing, but I couldn't find the money to do that and to travel just to surf. So windsurfing was helping me get to those places. And then, I was doing the pictures and videos for windsurfing on the waves, but my real passion was surfing and getting barreled and being inside this, the blue room. So it took me a while. It took me a lot longer than a lot of the kids nowadays. And when you come from the outside, it's that much sweeter when you actually do something that it's written on the book. Yes, it's really fortunate to have that chance to go over there, live in Hawaii and in Maui, and have Pe'ahi as my home spot. I was living right on Pe'ahi Road, so it gave me the chance to call it my home spot, and whenever it was breaking, I was out there. And one of the most special moments is that changing of the guard, changing of the sport, where tow-in was happening at Jaws at Pe'ahi all those years from the end of the 90s to the 2000s, and then that changing of paddling in Pe'ahi from towing. It was a really special moment for me, because I was right in it. I was the Brazilian Mad Dogs, Yuri, Soledad, Danilo Couto, and the late Marcio Ferrer. So it was one of the most special moments, is getting a wave at Pe'ahi, paddling in after I was towing for the last 3-4 years. And then there was that one big session at Jaws where Shane Dorian big paddle in, and I'll never forget that day. That was probably one of the most important days of my life, because I realized I was out there with these huge waves, and I had this 9.6 Maverick gun that I bought from Mike Neal, a photographer that was living on Maui, that was shooting me for those years, and he sold it to me. And I was out there, and I was like feeling a little bit undergunned. I should have had a bigger board, but that's all I had. And I remember as I got a couple waves, I looked around, and all these big famous big wave surfers were out there. And for them too was like the first time of paddling into Pe'ahi. So it was that moment where I felt confident to be in the ocean at that size, paddling in, and I really felt like awakening of I was put into this world to surf big waves. I feel fine. I feel connected with the ocean. Of course, I'm a bit scared, but I'm not going in panic mode. I like this energy, and that's where the life changed for me, and that's where I wanted to paddling to big waves, and started to travel the world, and started to have some XXL nominees and getting in the finals, and never winning yet, but starting to get recognition. And yes, big wave surfing is my passion, is what I really love doing, and that's where I feel most alive.
Fantastic, Francisco. Thank you so much for sharing this. So you were talking about PI, but also there are other two like waves that are very important in your life as well, because you were able to score big. Let's say Nazare and Jaws. So
Yes.
I ask you the same. What does it take to surf these two waves? I guess it's totally different, right?
Yes. Those are two waves that have really made a stamp in my life. And they are two really powerful waves, but two totally different waves. Pe'ahi Jaws is a wave that's more perfect, more top to bottom barrel. But at the same time, it's sometimes hard to read. You're dealing with the bumps. Sometimes you're dealing with wind. It's a challenging wave. And then Nazare is a totally different animal. I mean, Nazare has so many different currents and so much energy coming from different sides that it's really a lot more challenging to be in the spot and to actually get the right wave. There is some days in Nazare where it can be barreling and really good shape, but a lot of the times you're dealing with rip and different currents. When you do get a good wave on Nazare, it's a good feeling for sure. And it's a lot more challenging and a lot scarier when you do go on those really big days out there, and you have to be ready to handle the worst. And the worst can be really different than any other place. Just how it can just bring you down and hold you down, and currents pushing you in different places and trying to keep you down. I definitely prefer Peahi compared to Nazare, and I do I do love the perfection of big waves, and there's still some big rides that I really want to achieve and chase. Which one of them is Teaupo, which is one of the most perfect big waves that I want to tow in when it's big. I'm hoping this El Nino winter will give us a chance to go over there. And I really love Polynesia, and from French Polynesia to Fiji and Cloudbreak, and these are some big waves that I dream of all year, and hopefully I'll get some big rides this year too. There is so much perfection in this world, and what one of the most amazing things actually is being able to share those moments with your friends that are the local boys over there, and showing you how it's done and where these places are and how you ride it. It's a really humbling and amazing experience, and it's a good way to share your spots and learn from the best how to ride the spots around the world. I love West Australia, South Africa, Chile, South America, Puerto Escondido. Puerto actually can resemble how Nazare works. There's different peaks and there's a lot of current, so it's a bit harder to be in the spot and get that perfect line. So there's a lot more wipeouts going on in places like that compared to places where where it's going to break and the bowl is right there. For example, Mavericks, the bowl is going to be right there. So it's just how deep you want to go.
And it's not just as easy as it seems, right?
Yes, no, it's not.
When I was talking about Jeff Clark, about Mavericks, he told me, like, Jeff Clark was the first surf Mavericks. It was like, if you're not at the proper angle, on the proper spot, on the proper wave, it just crash you. So it's not as easy as it seems, definitely.
Yes. And sometimes it's better to be deeper and, knife into the bowl than actually be going with the lip and the bowl, So it's sometimes better to be deeper instead of being in the shoulder, because some waves are actually really pitching far and having a harder entry in the wave if you're in the shoulder. And sometimes you gotta man up and go deeper, because that's gonna be the ride of your life. Sometimes the closeouts are the ones that you actually make, and those are the ones that you'll remember all your life.
Talking about Chopo, of course, Chopo will be the Olympic wave in because of France, right? So we're talking about and it will be totally different than what we have seen in Japan, for instance, and it will require for all the surfer a big wave kind of set of skill and courage, right? Because when Chopo is big, it's big.
Yes. To tell the truth, I have mixed feelings of this, because Taupo has, a small little village at the end of the road. And that's why it's so special. It's because they've kept it how the natural place was shaped up, with humans living there. So just to think about all the people and all the, when you have a big event, it's already a lot for the reef, for the water, for the village, for the stream to handle all these people and all these, new things that they want to do. It's for me sometimes is a bit actually sad because some places you want to keep them how they are and how special they are. So now to do Olympics in such a pristine place, it's I don't know, it's something that I don't think it's the right wave to do an Olympic competition because it's so perfect and so pristine and that it can handle so many people. It's a bit the same way of thinking of when they do the World Cup and they go to these places and they bid on who's going to do it, and all of a sudden these places get transformed and all these huge things happen. But then after the fact, after everybody leaves for those 10 days, 2 weeks, then there's all these things that are being built. And I really hope that doesn't happen in Taupo. And I hope it can go back to how it was. And I just really cherish the nature and the simple places that are kept the way they have been kept for generations. And so I always try to protect these places. And that's why I think that way.
No, definitely your perspective, and definitely we hope that Chopo will remain a local wave, and the whole ecosystem will not be affected.
Because they want to build villages and all these things to accommodate all these people, but there's only a certain amount of space and a certain amount of pollution that you can do in those places. And I just I talk to the locals. I'm friends with some of the locals, and they feel the same way. They want to protect their special places and always respect what nature gives us and keep it that way, because they are small ecosystems and they are places that need to be taken care of and kept the way nature has designed them to be. But yes, I really hope they do a good job respecting the place. And let's see what happens.
Cool. So surf gave you the possibility to meet a lot of people, a lot of surfers, some of them known and some of them just like not known, let's say. Was there a meeting with a surfer in your life that was particularly meaningful for you?
Yeah, there's more than one for sure. Like you said, it's so true. For every big wave surfer that's made a name for themselves, there is 10 other just as good that are trying to make a name for themselves, and it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a sport that requires a lot of budget as well to be able to ride those waves, go there, have all the right gear, have the filmers to capture it all. So there is some guys that are really good and that are just humble as well, and they do it for the love of big wave surfing. And that's why I always get inspired by it, and that's who I feel like I want to be around guys that are just doing it for the love of the sport, not just for their way of wanting to post it right away or trying to do it just for the fame. But yes, there is all kinds of big wave surfers out there, and what I think I want to try to do is give the possibilities of, some guys that are trying to make it or trying to ride these big waves, and give them a chance to get out there. And that's some of the cool stories I've had in the past. For example, my good friend Bradley Norris from Western Australia, he's a big wave surfer, slab hunter, has gone big waves at the right. And, he's one of the boys over there. And he came to Maui, and we were out at Peahi together. And at the end of the session, it was just me and him. And we got to know each other in the water. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just showed up here because I wanted to surf Peahi, and now I'm actually looking for a place to sleep. Do you know of anything?" And that was the perfect occasion for opening my house and my life to him in Maui. And he stayed at my place, and we rode some good waves, and we had some really cool special moments over in Maui. And sure enough, a couple years down the road, I wanted to go to West Oz, and he's like, "Come over." And that's how then I explored Western Australia and surfed the right, another couple of secret spots, and it was just this sharing of these magical places that are close by where we live, and sharing just that passion of big wave surfing. That's actually one of the most amazing things of big wave surfing, is that that way of sharing your knowledge. And I got to thank all my friends that around the world have shown me their special spots and have opened up their house for me, and we've spent some time together. That's always something that I cherish, and is something I keep tight in my heart, because if it wasn't for them, it would be a totally different experience. You always want to go and explore, but having somebody show you and bring you to the best, and give you the possibility to live that feeling of big wave surfing is something not to take for granted. So something that I thank all my friends all the time, and it's one of the most amazing things about this sport.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. So going back to your Italian side, Sardinia, and surf technically, how do you see lately surf evolving in our hometown? I mean, Italy.
Yes. Yes. I mean, of course, it's not on the ocean. So there is waves. And actually, probably Sardinia is one of the best spots in the Mediterranean. And there is some up and comers. There is some talent. And for example, here in Sardinia, there's a couple good friends of mine that I saw last night that are talented, and they're actually traveling the world. And for example, Matteo Calatri is a Sardinian surfer that is making a name for himself. He's a good surfer, and he's had the possibility to get outside of Sardinia and get into the oceans, and he came to Hawaii this winter. So it's cool to see that surfing is growing, and that the sport has a lot of potential. And there's the grums, there's the kids that are coming up, and just seeing that spark in their eyes of surfing every day, and wanting to be in the water. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like the sport is growing. There's a lot of new. Why not give these kids the good energy, the push into the waves with what we do, with what we can do bigger. I do have a lot of projects in my mind of what I want to do when I slow down a little bit. Yes, it's one of the most amazing things is being able to give that passion to the next generation. So seeing with Leonardo Fioravanti on the world tour and me representing in the big waves and the big wave tour and winning some awards is something that I feel proud of. And the whole world looks at Italy as an amazing country for the food, for all of what we do with heart, and we are some of the best at doing all kinds of stuff. But surfing it was something that was not as well. So just to see a lot more schools around the coast and a lot more excitement in just getting in the water is something that I feel really proud of, and that's what we were talking about. Therapy for everybody is a good therapy for everybody here in Italy.
Definitely. And so, apart of surf, what are your favorite things to do in Maui or in Sardinia?
Well, you're talking about two islands that have a lot to offer. The ocean and the sea have beautiful waves, beautiful coastlines. Sardinia has some amazing beaches and some amazing coasts as well. And I like to get inside of nature, even in the mountains. And so I like hiking, and I like finding new places and waterfalls and places where to dive from. There's so much that you can do, from biking to climbing to maybe not so much on the islands, but there is some amazing places where you can base jump off of and fly like a bird. That's something that I've really loved doing lately. And I think it's good to explore, because there is so much fun stuff that you can get into.
Contact with the nature.
So, yeah, getting out into nature, a good way of reconnecting with nature and tapping out of all of phone and all that noise that we need to turn off sometimes and have some time with ourselves and nature. I love to go hunting more in Maui, just bow and arrow, and just getting to the mountains. A couple of my friends like Matt Miola and Marlon Lewis and a couple other guys, even my brother. Sometimes it's cool to get in nature and help actually take care of the land by hunting and being able to bring back home some meat, some special meat, because I don't eat meat so often. So it would be a really cool thing to go hunting more. The couple of times that I went were really amazing times, and it's something that needs to be taken care of. For example, in Maui, there is so much deer, millions of deers, and they need to be cleaned up because they're eating the native plants, and they're maybe ruining a little bit what the land has to offer. So that's a way to get into nature and to actually bring back home some meat for your family and friends. And that's something that I'm going to get into more.
I see. So we're going to finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind, okay?
Okay.
Best surfboard that you ever ridden?
KT Gun that I've worked with, Keith Tabul, and Dylan Longbottom Towboard.
Your favorite shaper of all time?
That's a hard one. I would say Dylan Longbottom.
Personal question, your favorite song?
Ooh, my favorite song. That's a hard one. Ooh, I mean, it depends by the moments, but my music changes by the moods and what I want to put into my mind. But I think more of the style, it can be something a bit spiritual. I'm a bit of a spiritual guy. So something that resembles nature and just the good beat of like a deep bass.
Okay.
So can be a tropical deep house music.
I got that. Your favorite surf spot?
Peahi, Hawaii.
I knew the answer. Your favorite big wave surfer of all time?
Shane Dorian.
Yeah, definitely big one.
Yes, he's somebody that I looked up to, and somebody that has given me some props when I needed it. And yeah, definitely Shane Dorian.
And the last question has nothing to do with surf, but we ask everybody on the show. Don't ask me why I came up with the question because I don't remember. Nevertheless, I want to know your best relationship advice.
I think respect them, and you're growing together, so you have to meet in the middle. It's not one person or one thing does it all, or you do it all. It's got to be met in the middle, whatever relationship it is.
Yeah, whatever relationship it is, it's just a matter of compromise. Otherwise, if we stay in our own kingdom, let's say, is too.
Yes, compromise is a good word for it in a relationship, for sure. But it's got to come from both. So
I agree. Thank you so much. Grazie mille. And
grazie a te, Alessandro.
Ciao.
It's a piacere. Thanks so much. And we'll catch each other in the water, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, who knows? Ciao. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!